Hey Jayden, it's Coach Adams. Just going to break down that video that we took of you today. First of all, I want to say it was really fun getting to work with you. I thought you had a great swing, and it looks like you're going to be in line to have a good season up there in Washington. I hope it's not too cold for you up there. I remember what it was like playing baseball in the cold. Make sure you don't hit any off your hands or off the end of the bat, because it really hurts. But let's get in to your swing. I really like the fact that you don't have a load. It's not a lot of, well, you do have a load, that you don't have a stride. It's not a lot, it's not something that I see a lot down here, but I actually like it, especially because of the player that we were looking at was Paul Goldschmidt. That's very comparable to yours. I'll get to some side-by-side video of that here in a minute. But it was just really cool because Goldschmidt is one of my favorite players. So here is one of your swings that we took, and one thing that I'm going to talk to you a little bit about is a thing that I was calling tilt, and we'll get to that. And the tilt is just this angle that we have right here from your shoulder down through your hips and to the ground right there. So that would be your tilt, and this is going to help us get the angle of the bat that we want coming through the zone, and this is one of the things that we're going to be looking at with Goldschmidt here. So let me just show you what your tilt angle is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my angle tool, I'm going to put it on your shoulder, and then I'll bring it down through your hips to where your foot's on the ground, and I'll bring it back down to where your back toe meets the ground, and that'll give us an angle. And that angle right there says 72 degrees. So what I'm saying is I think that you're a little up, because obviously if we went straight up, this would be 90 degrees about right here. So let's go back and let's look at Paul Goldschmidt, and let's look at what his tilt is at contact. This is Paul Goldschmidt right here. As you can see, he doesn't have a stride. His foot comes up almost exactly like yours, and then it goes down, and right there is where he makes contact. So let's take a look at what his tilt is. And his tilt says 61 degrees. So it's not a huge thing. We're only talking about a difference of 11 degrees. But baseball is a game of inches and adjustments, and so I think this is one thing that you might be able to make an adjustment on to get some more lift on your balls and help you hit line drives into the gaps and things like that. But like we were talking about, obviously you have a great hitting coach. I think you told me his name was Scott Harmon. You knew a lot about hitting, and you knew a lot about your swing. And so don't change anything just off my word for it, but take a look at these comparisons and talk about it with your coach. See what he thinks, because right now as it is, you have a very good swing, but we're always trying to get better. So I'm just helping to try and give you some ideas on what might be able to do that for you. So let's take a look right there, side by side. We can see you guys, and you could just be tilted a little bit farther back. So maybe if you were maybe something right like that, because that is pretty much the angle that Goldschmidt is on right there. One other thing that I want you to take a look at, and we already talked about this and you know about this, but it was pretty prevalent in your video. You were making contact a lot in front. Actually, when we were talking, you say, I usually don't pull. I was just pulling today, and that's because I was throwing it pretty slow in the cage. So that probably caused you to be out in front of a lot of balls. But one thing that you want to make sure that you do is you let that ball travel, because you can see that right here, you're making contact with the ball out in front of the plate, and Goldschmidt's making contact with the ball not as far out in front. He's right there almost exactly on his front leg, and that's where you want to make contact. And that is going to help you drive the ball more, like we talked about. So you can just that's something to keep in mind about waiting on the ball. I have it set up here, and I'm just going to play through a lot of your swings so you can take a look at it, and you can see. Let me get those marks off the screen so that they're not in your way. I'm just going to play through your swings, and I will freeze it at contact so you can see where you are making contact today. This is you getting ready to swing. There we go. Contact, not as far out in front as the swing that we were just breaking down, but still a little bit out in front. Contact again, a little bit out in front. I want you to remember, though, that on the whole, that was high, that was my fault. On the whole, these are all very good swings. I'm just trying to help you go from good to great. So I don't want you to think that I'm trying to hate on your swing. You were hitting line drives all over the cage today, and it was actually very fun to throw to you. But I'm just letting you go through your swings so that you can have those. There you have your contact again. And your contact is right there. And there you go, contact again. Oops, sorry, I missed that one. We'll go back to contact right there. That was me throwing a horrible pitch. And now this is the swing that we just broke down. I thought this was one of your better swings of the day. Right there. That's the swing that we did most of your slow-mo on. And let me go back to Goldschmidt one more time for you, so you can see his tilt and how that creates an up angle on the bat, and that really is what allows him to hit line drives all over the baseball field. And he probably should have won the MVP from Andrew McCutcheon, but we won't get into my sourness on that. But he had a great year last year. So just in recap of some of the things that I think is really going to help you out, is if you just get that tilt a little farther back, and let that ball travel a little bit. Two very minor adjustments, but they will help you out in getting some more line drives and making those line drives go farther. I hope you have a good season, Jayden, and it was great working with you.